and you just immediately get a hotel room and start having sex?
It's because when we was in high school, we couldn't do what we wanted. And it's like when I saw him, it was like old feelings, arrived. So I was like, okay, let's just get this done.
She has pictures with Kahari and other man that could possibly be the father.
Oh, really?
My mom looked at him and she told me, I don't think that's Maurice's son, that you should get in contact with his biological father.
Beg the court to please give me a
You
paternity
took me to
test.
court last year to modify your
tried.
child support payment.
I-
When you started paying child support payment, that's when you wanted DNA tests. You didn't have none of this before.
Mr. King, rocking his signature swagger, strolls into the courtroom like it's his birthday party, dropping the bombshell of the century. He's pretty sure he's the biological father of Ms. Holmes's ridiculously cute 10-month-old Kayvon. Flashback to when Ms. Holmes pointed him out in a lineup of potential dads, but now she's playing a game of parental ping pong. Drama alert. Buckle up because the courtroom showdown is just getting started, and it's about to get wild.
Mr. King, you have opened your case today because you are 100% certain that you fathered Ms. Holmes' 10-month-old son, Kayvon. She told you that you are the father, but now says are not his daddy. Ms. Holmes, you admit you led Mr. King to believing he was son's father.
The plot thickens, and oh boy, is it saucy. Ms. Holmes fesses up that she might have led Mr. King down the proverbial garden path, letting him believe he was the papa, only to snatch that notion away faster than you can say paternity test. The intrigue. This bombshell confession sets the stage for a roller coaster of drama and a whirlwind of confusion about who the real daddy is. Hang tight, because the tension is gearing up to skyrocket.
When she wants something, she calls me and needs me. But now when we are having a complication, she's so quick to say, oh, you're not the father. What is you doing? Why you keep sending me stuff? Why can't you just get ghosted? And why can't you just leave us alone?
So she's sending mixed messages.
Yes, Your Honor.
She's telling you at some point you are the father, some point you aren't.
When he needs clothes, hey, can you send your son some clothes? I'm okay with that. Clothes, money, diapers, whatever she needed.
Did you catch that curveball? The judge, showcasing the patience of a saint and possibly a dash of divine intervention, dives headfirst into the tangled web of Ms. Holmes' flip-flopping tales about Mr. King's paternity saga. Mr. King spills the tea, and it's scalding. He dishes on how Ms. Holmes' story of who's the daddy seemed to change more often than a chameleon. You won't believe the juicy details they're about to spill next. Grab your popcorn.
Knowing that he may or may not father, but that you truly believed he was not the father.
Yes.
Are you playing both sides of the fence, Ms. Holmes?
Yes. That was.
Well, let's
like,
go ahead and be honest then.
I just want Kayvon to have what he needs. When I'm having a hard time and I need something, I know King's gonna give it to me.
Things are heating up. In a fiery exchange, Ms. Holmes and Mr. King take us on a nostalgia trip to their high school days, unearthing old flames and secret sneaky rendezvous. Their past is a treasure trove of secrets and half-truths, exposing the twisted roots of their current predicament. Don't wander off, the revelations are just getting started, and they're absolutely scorching.
Sexual things at the staircase in high school?
Yes.
No, Your Honor, that's not true. Like she said before, yes, we'll text him and meet at the staircase, but it was nothing, probably just like a little dance or just a kiss.
A dance.
A dance.
Yes,
A dance.
Yes, Your Honor. Like,
Okay.
Like maybe just a twerk.
Okay,
So
a
you
twerk
just
at
gonna
the
say,
staircase.
okay.
I've never heard of this, Jerome. Now, we twerking at staircase.
We did more than twerk at the staircase, okay? Like,
You can't make this stuff up. Amidst the barrage of legal jargon, the judge cracks a joke about the couple's impromptu and fiery reunion in Texas, spotlighting their uncanny knack for making hasty and heated decisions. This lighthearted moment cuts through the tension and casts a spotlight on the passionate yet perplexing nature of their relationship. The drama is far from over. Keep watching, because it spirals into even crazier territory.
Go to the movies. I mean, you say you're gonna go to Texas and you just immediately get a hotel room and start having sex?
it's because when we was in high school, we couldn't do what we wanted. And it's like when I saw him, it was like old feelings, arrived. So I was like, okay, let's just get this done.
So you didn't even say we gonna go on a date, nothing. Y'all just go to a hotel and start having
What?
sex
No.
4 and 5 times a day?
To dinner, I mean, I'm not that cheap.
Buckle up for this bombshell. Mr. King uncovers not just about Ms. Holmes' pregnancy, but also her sneaky backslide into the arms of her ex. Hello, plot twist. This double dealing adds layers of betrayal and turns the plot into a soap opera on steroids. Hold tight, because the next revelation is a total game changer, and you'll need to see it to believe it.
You had 3 days worth of sex with Mr. King. Was that protected or unprotected?
That was definitely unprotected.
Then get back with your boyfriend. You also had unprotected sex with the boyfriend.
Yes.
And how soon after that did you find out you were pregnant?
I found out in the end of November. So at that time, I was with the other guy.
So, Mr. King, while this is happening, you have no idea?
No, Your Honor.
Because she's cut you off.
Completely. No explanation, no.
Brace yourselves, folks. We've hit the climax of this episode with the DNA results that shock everyone.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. King, you are not the father. I know that wasn't the answer you wanted, Mr. King. I'm sorry.
Miss Yancey kicks things off with a teary testimony about the emotional roller coaster her boyfriend, Mr. Thomas, has thrown her on by denying paternity of their cute, albeit controversial, 7-month-old son, Kahari. She shares how this paternity drama is wreaking havoc on their love life and her mental peace, emphasizing just how much hinges on what the judge decides next. It's like a reality TV show, but in court.
You testify that his paternity denial is tearing you apart. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
You claim that after finding pictures of Miss Yancey and the baby with another man, you are convinced you are not Kahari's biological father. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Plot twist incoming. Mr. Thomas steps up, throwing a curveball with doubts about his role as Kahari's dad, all thanks to some incriminating photos of Miss Yancey cozying up with another dude and the kiddo. His suspicion isn't just coming out of nowhere. It's backed by snapshots and a history of Miss Yancey's sketchy moves. And bam! He drops the paternity challenge right there in the courtroom. Grab your popcorn, folks. This is getting good.
Well, it's important because, we've been having a few issues ever since my baby was born. You know, he was there through the entire pregnancy, and we would go back and forth after the baby was born about, the baby doesn't look like him, the baby looks like me, or, the baby.
So you feel like this paternity resolution is important in terms of saving your relationship?
Yes, Your Honor.
So your relationship's on the line, Mr. Thomas?
Yes, Your Honor, it is.
Talk about a can of worms. The courtroom turns into a hot mess with Miss Yancey and Mr. Thomas airing their dirty laundry for all to hear. We've got accusations flying left and right, revealing a backstory filled with cheating scandals and trust issues galore. This spicy exchange lays bare the messy foundation of their relationship and the troubled waters their little one is floating in. You'll want to hear what's next. Trust me.
Giving my friend a ride, we were going out. He seen me at the gas station with him. All this stuff came out. He started cussing me out and texting me and calling me out my name. And
Well, yeah, I
he
mean,
was
if
following me
you're
in my car.
If you're in a relationship with somebody,
we weren't in a
you
relationship.
don't go and
like-
give another man.
But I thought y'all said you all were broken
Right,
up.
exactly. When we were breaking up,
That's not
to
correct.
me, I felt like we were over.
Wait, it gets juicier. Picture this. Miss Yancey breaks the big news to Mr. Thomas. Surprise, you're going to be a dad. There's joy, there's confetti, and then record scratch. She hits him with a maybe it's not yours via text. Talk about a buzzkill. This crucial moment is where all the doubt started seeding, leading us to this paternity circus we're all witnessing. What's a court session without a little drama, right?
That she took a pregnancy test and she's pregnant. And I'm like, I was happy for the simple fact that over the years we were trying to conceive and have a baby. And I'm in the back of my mind, I'm thinking like, yes, it finally happened. And then after she told me, she left and texted me that the baby might not be mine.
That's correct. And I told him, and once I started thinking about conception date and the day I conceived, we were on a breakup, and I was seeing someone else.
Just when you think it can't get more dramatic, hold my gavel. The tension cranks up a notch when Mr. Thomas stumbles up on those damning photos of Miss Yancey, another man, and their toddler living it up on a family trip. This bombshell ramps up the paternity stakes, shining a spotlight on potential trust cracks big enough to drive a truck through. It's edge of your seat stuff, folks.
Going through her phone and I noticed that she has pictures with Kahari and the other man that could possibly be the father.
Oh, really? Why were you taking pictures with the other guy, Miss Yancey?
My mom looked at him and she told me straight up, I don't think that that's Maurice's son, and I think that you should get in contact with his biological father.
We're together. Why couldn't you have just told me? Why hide it and make it a big deal? You know what I
I
mean?
wasn't trying to hide it. I just felt like there was a particular time and place for that.
And here's the big reveal. Drum roll, please. The DNA results are in, and guess what?
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Thomas, you are not the father. I'm very sorry.
It's okay, Your Honor.
The episode starts with the court clerk rolling out the drama carpet, introducing the spicy case of Genold versus Hardin. Judge Lake is at the helm, and boy, does it look like we're in for a paternity dispute that's juicier than a primetime soap opera. Allegations are flying about paternity denial because apparently child support payments can really stir the pot.
Ms. Ganal, you and your sister agree that the man you've known to be your father is denying paternity. Yet you disagree about why you've come to court today. One of you is hoping the DNA test will prove he is your biological father.
Here's Mr. Hardin spilling his guts, saying he's been nearly drowned by child support payments. We're talking a whopping over $90,000. He's throwing shade, doubting he's the daddy of the two daughters at the heart of this mess, blaming it all on a roller coaster past with their mom, complete with a side of alleged infidelity. Oh, and it gets better.
Now, Mr. Hardin, you argue that you've been buried in child support payments totaling more than $90,000 for two daughters you don't believe you fathered. Furthermore, you claim claim that while involved with their mother, you caught her in several compromising situations with other men.
Cue the violins, folks. Shanice, one of the daughters caught in this family feud, steps up and pours her heart out. She talks about her daddy issues, literally waiting on her dad, who was a no-show more often than a canceled sitcom. She's looking at her friends' Instagram perfect families and feeling left out. Grab your tissues and wait till you hear what her dad has to say about this.
15 years ago is the last time you saw him?
He would always say he was gonna come see us, and he never did. He would just always lie, and that was it.
I wanted this man so bad in my life. I played basketball. I ran track. All my friends had both mom and dad there. I wanted him. I watched through my windows and watched raindrops fall, and he wasn't there.
Just when you thought it couldn't get more tangled, Mr. Harden fires back. He's not just playing defense. He's trying to rewrite the playbook. Claims it's all the mom's fault he couldn't see his girls, tossing in more doubts about whether he's even related to them, all thanks to mom's past playbook moves. And guess what? The plot thickens from here.
I waited and waited and waited. He never showed.
Your Honor, their mother didn't allow me to come around them. There's no way I would not want to be around my daughters, Your Honor.
You're lying right there.
I asked for a paternity test from day one. Your Honor, I've always doubted because I used to catch Ms. Gannell with several different men during the course of our relationship.
Things are heating up now. Judge Lake dives deep, like a reality show host digging for the most embarrassing secret. They dissect the timeline of Mr. Harden's relationship with Ms. Gannell, right around when their first daughter, Shanice, was supposedly conceived. And oh, there might be other players in this game. Stay tuned, because this mystery is unraveling.
Could be one more person.
Yeah.
Okay, Shanice, did you know this? So you do know this. Who's on the birth certificate for Shanice?
Just me.
No father listed.
That's
You say
correct.
you owe almost $90,000 between the two girls. So if you're not on the birth certificate, how did he end up being named father and responsible to pay the child support?
I was told from the state of Minnesota that when they approached him in Indiana,
Here comes a curveball. Mr. Harden talks about how a missed court date turned into an epic fail, slapping him with a default judgment that pegged him as the father and hooked him for child support without even a paternity test. It's like missing a final exam and still getting graded, but don't go anywhere. The drama's just dialing up.
Did you sign any documents?
Judge Lake, I never signed any parental documents, no birth certificates. I was issued a court order because I was late for court in the initial court date. They actually took my truck driver license, Your Honor. I was a semi-truck driver. I used to drive trucks, saying that that I'm the father of these two beautiful young ladies here, Your Honor.
Can you believe this? Amidst battling the financial tide and struggling to keep his head above water, Mr. Harden has been shouting from the rooftops for a paternity test. But alas, money's tight, and the court isn't handing out tests like free samples. This segment's packed with frustration and a ticking time bomb of family secrets about to explode.
Your Honor, I begged for a paternity test.
5 and 26 years old, you had all this time to do it. You should have did this way back when. Why are you letting us call you dad when you doubted this whole time?
You don't understand.
No, I don't understand, so explain it.
I'm trying to explain it right now about this. I begged the court to please give me a
you took
paternity
me to
test.
court last year to modify your
tried.
child support payment.
The money. You never,
tried.
when you started paying child support payment, that's when you wanted DNA tests. You didn't have none of this before.
Oh, it's getting hot in here. Mr. Harden throws down a bombshell, accusing Ms. Ginnild of a blockbuster-worthy plot twist. She might have hinted the kids aren't his. She's denying it faster than a celebrity dodges paparazzi. But the tension, it's palpable. And just when you think it can't get more intense, the DNA results are about to drop.
Their mom actually told me that they weren't mine, actually.
What?
Also, too.
No, I
She
never
told me
did.
that.
Never
She
did.
came out of her mouth with...
Everybody
tell you?
She told me that she wanted me to contact the other fellow that she used to date that may be a possibility. She
No, I
asked
never
me
did
to give
say
me
that.
her number, and she said that she doesn't know, and they may not be mine, period.
And boom goes the dynamite. DNA test results are in. And guess what?
In the case of Gannald v. Harden, when it comes to Shanice Gannald, Mr. Harden, you are her father.
I told you.
So, Ms. Vaught drops the bombshell that Mr. Lindsay decided to call it quits on their romance because he's having a paternity panic. She's totally determined to prove that yes, indeed, he is the daddy of her daughter, Shelby. Meanwhile, the tension between these two could cut through a steak, making it the main dish of this whole courtroom drama.
Ms. Vaught, you say your ex-boyfriend, Mr. Lindsay, abrupt ended your relationship due to paternity doubt. But today, you want to prove he is your daughter Shelby's dad. Mr. Lindsay, you say the plaintiff, Ms. Vaught, Vaught has committed paternity fraud. You claim she deceived you into believing that you fathered her daughter, but today plan to prove you are not her father.
And just when you thought it couldn't get any spicier, Mr. Lindsay throws back his own hot potato, accusing Ms. Vaught of playing him with some paternity fraud shenanigans. He's all in, denying any daddy duties, and vowing to prove he's not Shelby's father. The stakes are sky high now, with him pushing for a lie detector test to check if Ms. Vaught has been playing the field.
You are countersuing for a lie detector test to determine the extent of Ms. Vaught infidelity.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Ms. Vaught, well, the stakes are pretty high today.
Yes, they are, Your Honor.
Explain.
I wouldn't place a baby on someone that I didn't know, like didn't believe was her father. You get what I'm saying?
Mr. Lindsay, acting like a regular Sherlock, uncovers messages on Ms. Vaught's Instagram that hint at some mystery dude being told to knock on the right window of her place. Talk about sneaky! This little nugget of gossip throws another layer of suspicion into the mix, making everyone second guess what's really going on in Ms. Vaught's love life.
Somebody was in her, I don't know what they call it, her little Instagram. I guess they was supposed to be knocking on the window. How somebody knocking on your window when you supposed to be talking to me?
You said somebody that on her Instagram was knocking on her window.
That's what the message says.
Oh, what did it say?
Knock on the right window. She was telling the person knock on the right window.
Here's where it gets juicy. Ms. Vaught gets all emotional, swearing up and down that she never doubted Mr. Lindsay was Shelby's bio dad and claims she would have spilled the beans if there were any. But Mr. Lindsay isn't buying it, countering with a supposed confession from her that Shelby might not be his, which she says was just a heat of the moment thing. Drama alert.
She told me the baby wasn't mine. So what I'm supposed to do?
And that's, Your Honor, that's the out of anger, because for him to say, because he would say to me, Your Honor, oh, I don't feel that's my baby. I don't feel that's my baby. Why would you say that when I'm loyal to you? I would have told him. Honestly.
And Ms. Vaught, I have to tell you, like I tell every other young woman in this courtroom.
And I understand
Once
that.
you say that, it's a statement that even if you take back
Plot twist. Mr. Lindsay whips out a calendar, yes, a literal calendar, to try to prove that the baby-making timeline doesn't match up with his guest appearances. This calendar is now Exhibit A, folks, in the Who's the Daddy mystery that seems to have more twists than a pretzel.
Mr. Lindsay, you're saying that's incorrect, that you were not with her?
I was not there. I don't know if she got me confused with somebody.
And you see,
but I
that's
was not
disrespectful.
there.
How could you open your mouth and say something like that?
And that hurts your feelings.
And it does, because I love this man, and he know I love him. If you felt like that, you could have walked in and did your business. You're not chained to be with me. You should have let that be expressed. Don't sit around wasting my time. I'm a daddy's girl. Why would I want my daughter not to know her father?
And bam, the court drops the results of the lie detector test, showing that Ms. Vaught might have been playing away games, if you catch my drift. This bombshell knocks her credibility into a cocked hat, and suddenly Mr. Lindsay's side of the story starts looking a bit more believable.
We have
Honestly.
administered that test and I have the results. Ron, may I have the envelope? Thank you. You were asked, did you have sexual contact with the man who sent you an Instagram message about which window to knock on? You said no. The lie detector determined you were being deceptive.
What does that mean? That I was
You was
lying?
You're
lying.
not telling the truth.
I was lying?
That's what that means, deceptive.
Okay,
You was
Your
lying.
Honor.
Cue the dramatic music because here comes the big reveal the paternity test results are in.
It has been determined by this court, Mr. Lindsay, you are the father.
Your Honor, I'm so happy. Can I have that, please? Can I have that?
Oh, you
Yes,
want to put
because-
this up in the house?
Yep, I sure am.
You gonna put
I'ma
this
show
on the
it to
refrigerator.
every family member.